Hi, everyone. Welcome. Welcome to Chadwell's and to Procurement Panic, the RealPage Integration Assistance webinar. I will be your instructor today. My name is Jessica Tierney. I have been with Chadwell since September of last year, and I come from being a regional property manager for the past 15 years. I come with the knowledge of the customer side and how we can better assist the customer in the field based on my own experiences and to help bridge the gap of the technological chaos that is today and trying to get our ordering and invoicing as streamlined as possible. So I'm going to go over today what Chadwell Supply brings to the table and how to make your ordering at property level as seamless as possible. As we go, please go ahead and enter questions into the chat and I will address them as we go. And if there's anything else that we need to get to, I will be happy to answer at the end. We also have included some different materials that will be available for further help after this presentation as well. But without further ado, here we go. So the great thing about using the third-party systems is the fact at property level, this will allow to speed up the process for ordering and invoicing, make sure that everything is accurate. We don't have to deal with any missing items or inventory questions. It helps make sure that you guys can manage all of your portfolio with ease, whether it's your leasing side, the rent side, the tenant relationships, also your work orders. All of those things are done within the platform itself. And then inventory tracking is huge because how do you budget for next year without being able to know what your budget is going to need? I know from being on property, there would be years where you're at a 1970s property and then all of a sudden you had to do extra plumbing for that year, but you may not need it for next year. But these are all things that these systems allow to gather that data for you to be able to understand what's going to be needed for your next years. And that's very important for property because if your owners are not present every day, or even if you're a corporate, it allows them to be able to see from afar what they need to be able to understand for budgeting for next year's to provide whatever money, especially if it's renovation. So with that being said, obviously transparency and visibility is huge. For not only just the property manager, the maintenance supervisor, but also for ownership or corporate offices. Because we all know that at the end of the day, you are graded on a lot of different aspects when it comes to your budgeting. So being able to use these platforms with ease when it comes to everything from your leasing to the rent roll to your work orders is going to be huge. It allows everybody to be on the same page at all times and understand how to prepare for your upcoming year or your next year budgeting season. So how do you get started with us? Well, essentially, RealPage, you just have to reach out to them, let them know that you'd like to add Chadwell Supply as a vendor. From there, they're going to ask you two questions. We have direct catalog shopping, or we can do PunchOut. PunchOut is definitely recommended. It allows a lot more capability and assistance from us to you. But nonetheless, though, you do have those two options. From there, you can obviously place your order, be able to have visibility from both ends. And then from that process on, you have automatic invoicing. So it allows everything to be streamlined without anybody having to intervene. It allows the system to automatically, from order to invoicing to payment, everything is done all in one shot. And then once that order's out for delivery, your invoice is available immediately in your workflow. And as we go along, you'll see that we do have frequently asked questions and user guides that will be available for you guys as well to kind of go through any of these further questions if needed. So we're going to get into the direct catalog shopping experience for RealPage. RealPage is also formerly known as Ops Technology, for those who may not know that. Ops Technology has adopted into just the RealPage management software in general, so that is what it's referred to as it is now. So the first thing that I want to get into is what's called the Storefront. This is what you're going to see when you initially log into the platform from the customer side. The Storefront is where the customer is going to select then the vendor in which they wish to place an order with. And just know that this is the same screen you're going to get for not just the direct catalog experience, but also the PunchOut experience. If you notice in the top right corner, it has a selected catalogs little icon. And right there is where you would actually select your PunchOut vendor or your direct catalog vendor. You'll only have to do that one time. That's when you initially integrate with us. Once you integrate with us and you decide whether you're direct catalog or PunchOut, you would then go into that section, select whatever shopping experience that you guys have agreed to, and then we will permanently be on that storefront for you. Once you have done that, then you're going to go ahead and select. So we're going to obviously be direct catalog right now. So you would go to shop by vendor catalog. You would click the Chadwell supply icon, and it's going to take you into the actual shopping experience for the static catalog. As you can see, the static catalog is actually hosted by RealPage within the spend management system. This is where you can enter in your keywords to determine what you're looking for. You can even shop specifically based on pricing. You can look in based on category and go ahead and find whatever product it is that you're looking for. With this, you would then at that time select whatever you needed for it to be placed into your cart. Please know that all of this is submitted monthly to RealPage itself. The catalogs are only updated once a month, so the pricing and the availability would be based on the time that that catalog was submitted. So with that being said, the static catalog essentially is the same experience. You would just go ahead, select your items, and go ahead and check out and create your WTN. And that's kind of the gist of what the actual storefront capability is. The PunchOut catalog shopping experience is going to give you a little bit more to be able to be visible to see. It's going to allow you to track items a little bit differently. And additionally, you'll have live inventory and live pricing, which is really important because we all know with obviously COVID today, the supply chain has changed a lot. So with the PunchOut catalog shopping experience, you're going to get a whole lot of visibility to know what we can get to you and how quick we can get it to you. So what is PunchOut? Punching out of RealPage into Chadwell Supply's website. So basically, you guys are still going into the storefront. There's no difference there. You're just going to choose catalog. Instead of the catalog, you're going to choose the PunchOut experience instead, and it's going to take you to our website. What makes PunchOut so unique is the fact that you're going to be able to have custom shopping carts set up for you or shopping lists for ordering. So for example, if you were renovation and you wanted to have a 1x1, a 2x1, or a 2x2, order list set up for you, we could automatically have that available for you. And it will allow you to be able to just select that whole entire list and drop it into your cart. So you don't have to go through one by one. We can also customize based on your turns. We can customize it based on the category, whether you want it to be like an electrical shopping list or a plumbing shopping list, whatever is going to make your life easier. This is something that we can do within the PunchOut that will allow you guys to save more time. Additionally, this allows you to know, billing is available in there. You can track to see if your payments, you can see that the taxes are correct. You can see if we have the inventory for something. Additionally, what makes this really great is you're able to have one of our sales reps go in and help you guys at any time because it's essentially our website. So if you're struggling or can't find something or we're out of stock of something, it would allow our territory sales reps to go in and help you guys and update your cart based on the availability that we do have. Once again, to take that extra pressure off of your maintenance supervisors or property managers on property. It's honestly the best practice for property management. When I was on property, I wish I would have known about the PunchOut experience because I had huge renovation portfolios. And this would have saved me so much time instead of building $14,000 shopping carts one by one every single time. So once again, that's why I'm here, so I can actually make this a lot easier for you guys, okay? Another important piece of this is that there's no separate login needed. It will automatically take you from your storefront directly into our website. And after you get into the actual storefront area, and this time you would select as PunchOut vendor, you will just see our website automatically. So everybody knows what the Chadwell Supply website looks like. Well, this is what you should see. And if you notice in the top, it still shows you your spend management. So you're still able to see that you're within the actual RealPage platform. Okay. Now, if you get a login screen here, that means that there's an error that's occurred with that transmission. You just have to clear your cookies and cache, exit the browser, and start again. This is also with a lot of our FAQs and Chadwell self-help items that you'll be able to access once this is over. All right, so obviously at this point, you would go ahead and search for whatever item that you're looking for. You would then add it to cart. Once you add it to your cart, your next page will be able to verify that that item is in stock. If the item is in stock, this is really important because if you guys only hover over the cart and don't actually go into the cart page, you're going to run into an issue where the order doesn't transmit back to the platform. You want to make sure that that red button down bottom is always clicked and present because it's the only way for that order to go back to the actual platform itself to complete the order. If you guys don't do that, then the order goes somewhere in space and we won't be able to find it and you have to do it over again. So once you guys punch back into your spend management, it will literally say that the product has been successfully added. And at this point, a WTN has been created. And then there's either a couple of different things that happen after this, depending on your management company's hierarchy. So either A, there's going to be an approval process, and that does take time depending on who that approval is. Then from that approval process, it would then showcase that it's been sent to supplier. And once it's been sent to supplier, then at that point, we would be able to see the order, okay? Nothing happens automatically. It does have to take time of transmission depending on that hierarchy, or if it is going to go to supplier directly. Even sometimes there's even a dollar amount that has to be approved before it gets sent to us as well. But either way, if there's ever an issue where you're unable to see your order, you definitely can reach out to our customer service department, or we do have a website which will be showcased at the end of this as well, which is procurement@chadwellsupply.com, to where we can be able to look up to see what status of where your order is. But it can tell you that within your spend management system, where the little shopping cart is, you are able to actually look to see where your status of your order is as well. There's an actual section there that does say order summary, and you can go ahead and pull up that WTN and it can kind of tell you where it's at in the process, okay? All right, so just to get into some of the frequently asked questions, there is a RealPage support team. So anytime that you guys are having issues on anything with Storefront, you're more than welcome to contact them. But that's the other great thing about having us as your vendor. You can also contact us at procurement@chadwellsupply.com to where we can be able to try to field through some of these issues you may be having. And if there is an issue from a RealPage standpoint, we can go ahead and direct you from there as well. But just so you guys know, you're able to contact them directly as well. Some of the other things that come into play is always when you perform your search, you want to narrow down your results by desired vendor on the navigation menu. But it's all going to be based on the catalogs hosted in the marketplace and not the vendor PunchOut. So meaning you would have to go into the PunchOut experience if you want to be able to shop that. You can't do both. It's one or the other, okay? GL coding. This is another thing that I wish I would have known when I was in property management, is that Chadwell Supply is able to essentially code all of your invoicing for you based on how your guys' budget lines line up. You would just provide at time of integration all of your GL codes, or chart of accounts as some would call it, and they would be able to code that based on the items in which you guys, buy on a regular basis. It's also something too we can build within your shopping list as well, just to make it easier for you guys. That way all you have to do is go ahead and pay that bill and it's already coded based on what your company requires. That to me is such a huge time saver because I had to code bills and it would take me hours to do. Thank goodness Chadwell Supply actually figured in your taxes. Some of the other vendors do not do that, but nonetheless, though, anything we can do to save you time, that's what this is all about. All right, so this goes back into that final approval that I was discussing earlier. There's a lot of companies that do have an approval process. So unfortunately, it's not as simple as let me place an order, let me place an order, and it go right to the vendor. It's literally going to be based on that company's hierarchy. So once again, there could be a regional that has to approve. It could be somebody at corporate that has to approve. And then at that point, then it would get sent to us last. These are all things that your company should be able to educate you on, but nonetheless, though, also your ops representative or RealPage representative would be able to give you that information as well. And if you guys go to that little shopping cart in that storefront, in your order summary section, if you click on that WTN, it will tell you in what stage that order is, okay? If you're looking for your order, so needing to know an estimated time of arrival or, wanting to know if it got to us, your Chadwell Supply Territory Manager will be able to answer those questions the fastest. Otherwise, you're more than welcome to call our customer service or once again, procurement@chadwellsupply.com. At this point, we'd be able to kind of let you know in what process that you're standing. But the quickest thing would be to go to that little shopping cart icon and be able to look at where your order summary is at that inside of your actual spend management. So just a little bit of like tips and tricks when it comes to us and obviously for RealPage. If your catalog is not showing, there's a couple of reasons why that could be. One is that they didn't go and actually do the selected catalog. Like I showed you guys at the very beginning, there's a little icon in the top right. You have to select us for the first time there. Whether you're static or PunchOut, you have to do that first in order for us to be visible in your actual menus, okay? Another item is that the property may not be active as a Chadwell Supply customer. And the reason being for that is because the property management company has not requested to add that property, or the management company, had just purchased that property and it didn't transfer over to them yet. There's a lot of different pieces to this. Or their customer is set up as invoice only. So basically the first point of contact is going to be your RealPage representative to be able to educate you on whether the management company is still in process of getting you set up or if it's an issue on our end to where we can address it at that time. But it will always start with the management company adding their property list before we would ever be able to have a catalog available for you guys, okay? Same thing that goes with PunchOut. The PunchOut experience has to be requested separately as well by the management company. So whether that's the hierarchy is a corporate or an owner, or if they do allow a regional, those people would have to reach out to RealPage directly to say, hey, we'd like to add Chadwell Supply catalog for these properties, or if they want to turn on the PunchOut experience, okay? And then just to remind you guys, we'll have all of these help documents also available on our procurement page on our Chadwell Supply website. All right, so this is the chadwellsupply.com procurement page that our lovely marketing team has put together for everybody. We have a lot of help guides on here. We worked through a lot of our partnerships between RealPage, Yardi, Nexus, all of them to have these documents available for not only internally, but we want our customers to have every single piece of information that they could possibly have at their fingertips to try to help them through. One of the things that us at Chadwell Supply pride ourselves on is to be able to have the best customer service available. And that includes when it comes to these third-party systems, because we know that there's not a ton of training out there. And we definitely want to alleviate any pressure from on-site property as much as we can. So you can visit this at any time to be able to see these frequently asked questions, the user guides. We will be also including recordings from these sessions, including the questions. That way we can go ahead and help you guys in any way that we possibly can, or be able to repeat any section that maybe you did not understand. I also too do a lot of individual training. I do try to kind of get into a little more details based on properties needs, and these are things that we can definitely address if anybody's needing some extra help at site level. All right, guys. Well, obviously, you guys know procurement@chadwellsupply.com. And if you don't, you need to remember it because it'll definitely be your best friend when it comes to tips and tricks and help through many different items that you'll experience. Like I said, that website that was just present on the previous page through chadwellsupply.com will definitely help you with some frequently asked questions and any type of, kind of errors or issues that you may be coming across to kind of help yourself navigate through it. But nonetheless, though, we are going to be holding webinars, monthly. We will be sending out to let you know those classes and times that will be held. And additionally, if you need something further, Procurement@Chadwell Supply is going to be the email to reach out to. I do have myself and I do have Charity Ford, who is my right-hand woman who is helping me man that inbox. But nonetheless, though, we are here for you guys, try to make it easier on properties. But otherwise, if you have additional questions, please feel free to reach out to us and we'll go ahead and do our best to make sure that we help you through any of those struggles, okay? But otherwise, have a wonderful Wednesday. And I'm looking forward to speaking with all of you if I get the opportunity to. Have a great day, guys. Thank you.